So you have all of the stuff that we are now doing at the same time. You have selling on eBay and Amazon. Okay, so you got e-commerce with physical products. And we are doing, quite well with that. Our members did, something like $2 billion in there. So I think we're doing okay. I think that's fair to say that our members are pretty awesome and absolutely raw. So we have $2 billion in sales that were done over there. We just did our first beta test of Infinii Digital. And that just basically outdid 99.9% of products out there in the digital marketing world, in the digital products world, with videos and courses and so on. By the way, this is also a $68 billion industry out there, okay? So out of this little piece, which is $68 billion worth, our first beta test outdid 99.9% of the products out there. And we're not done. We're not even done with the week yet. It's really, really incredible. It's so satisfying to see that this concept of building out something and growing it and making it bigger and allowing everybody to participate in that is actually working the way that we want it to work. Okay? So who here thinks that that would be something that they would love to add to their income in the next, let's say, 2 months? Beautiful. So exciting. One of the things I really appreciate about our member base is that you guys are action takers. You guys are not like, okay, that sounds good. How can I get a better position? Or how much money can I put into this? Your thing is, yes, I want to do it. So let's talk about this. What exactly is Infinii? Okay. Now, all of you have actually been participants of Infinii this whole time, but you haven't known it. Okay. Infinii is basically the system which is a platform to publish platforms. It's like this science-fi dream of, robots create robots and there's robots create products and blah, blah. It's really the digital version of that. It's a marketplace that covers the physical goods, that covers the vendor side of things, that covers the digital products. It covers all of these things at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to show this to you guys with a flowchart. And many of you are familiar with this flowchart. And those of you who are not will hopefully find this very interesting and exciting and will like it. So this right here represents the supply chain. You have a manufacturer, you have a reseller, and you have the marketplace. Okay? Reseller could be called distributor, whatever you want to call it is fine. The manufacturer creates a product for a certain price point. Okay? The reseller distributes it to different marketplaces, whether it be stores, brick and mortar stores, it could be eBay, it could be Amazon, whatever. And from the marketplace, the product goes to the end user. Okay? This is where the customer goes to actually purchase their product. Okay, now all of you are already participating in it. If you made sales on eBay in the last week, you're already participating in it. Somebody created a product, somebody distributed the product, they brought it in, they did all the logistics on it. Somebody brought it to the marketplace, in that case it would be eBay, and then a customer bought it from. And right now, all you do is you collect the profit margin between your source and your sales price, right? That's literally all you're doing right now. Now, Infinii is a process that actually handles all of these pieces internally. It brings the customers, it goes and collects the products from the vendors or the manufacturers, and it also provides a marketplace at the same time. And what's more, it manages all the marketplaces for you. So imagine you were to sell a $200 computer chair, a computer desk chair on eBay or Amazon, whatever. Right now, you would sell it on eBay, you would go source it from Amazon for a lower price, or you would go source it from another retail store for a lower price. Okay? There is a limit to that activity. As we reach 1 million members, there's going to be a limit to that. There'll be some level of saturation, there'll be some level of efficiency that will begin to break down. Now, here's what Infinii does instead. Infinii says, go ahead and sell your $200 computer chair on eBay to an end customer. That is awesome. But instead of you going to Amazon and then getting that computer chair for $170 and making a $5 profit margin, instead, we will go to the manufacturer of that computer chair. Because we have such tremendous power, I mean, we literally just wrecked a store in Orlando, Florida. because of the level of power we have on the sales side, we go to the manufacturer or we go to their licensed reseller and we say, listen, our member just sold the chair for $200. We want to get it to them for much cheaper. We don't want them to get it for $170. We want them to get it for $140. We want them to make a much bigger profit margin. We want them to get it for $80, whatever. We are able to negotiate that down. We're able to bring that in. And instead of you selling the item on eBay and then going to a reseller or a retailer, you just go and buy it and source it from within Infinii. That essentially brings the entire supply chain into our ecosystem, allows us to generate a lot more profits for our member, a lot more profits for the company, but then it also becomes the source of the next simple idea. Who on this call right now is selling on Amazon? Beautiful. Okay, John, I just want you to look at this because I would love your feedback on all of this after we're done with this call. All right, so we got at least, I would say, 400 or 500 members selling on Amazon, if not more. That's just me guesstimating based on what I'm seeing here. Imagine this process of selling on Amazon dramatically simplified. Imagine that instead of you going out there and finding a product, okay, this is what you do right now. You find a product, you negotiate a price, you bulk purchase, you handle the logistics of bringing it in, you pack it and get it ready for the shipment, and then you send it to Amazon FBA. And hopefully, if you picked well and you did the rest of the whole process was done well, you generate profits in that process. Okay, now many of you are doing incredibly well with this, which is amazing and awesome. But there was a very simple question as we were going through this process, and as I was actually looking through all of this, one of my very obvious questions was, if we already have contact with the manufacturer and we already have the ability to negotiate with them, I can go to them and say, hey, listen, I represent $400 million worth of buying power. What can we do here? We can get rid of this entire process for our members, and we can literally bring it down to find a product, Amazon FBA, generate profits. Okay, and that is what we call Infinii Springboard. And here's how Springboard works. It's very straightforward. You log into your Infinii back office. You look at the products available there. You choose which products you believe will do really well on Amazon FBA for you. Okay, and those products have different parameters. Like some products are available for $10 from our manufacturer and it's selling on Amazon for $40. So your profit margin is somewhere around, you're going to make $20 if that item sells on Amazon. So you can actually, instead of going out there and negotiating a price and then having to spend a few $1,000s buying the inventory, you go into the system and you say, oh, I've identified a product that I like, that I want to participate in, but instead of spending $5,000 on it, I'm only going to spend $100 on it. You're basically hedging yourself. You're lowering your risk and you're diversifying. So instead of spending $5,000 on one product and hoping it works, you now spend $500 on 10 products instead. Basically reduces your risk, and we bring the product in, we put it on an Amazon account, and when the product sells, we pass the profits on to you after taking a little bit of fee for ourselves. Does that sound like something that would simplify this whole Amazon thing for you guys? Awesome. See, this is what I mean. Is there anybody who's confused about this? Because I think this is the easiest thing in the world. I mean, it's so much easier than explaining the whole Amazon process. Awesome. And this is what we call the co-op. This is our Springboard co-ops. Okay, and here's why it's so amazing. International members can do this exactly the same way as US members can. Members who don't have a large amount of upfront money available to do this can do that very easily as well. It just solves so many problems for you guys. It also basically keeps you safer and protects you a little bit more as you go forward. Now, of course, another question that comes up is, okay, how are we going to get all these sales for these products? First point, we choose products that are already selling on Amazon. And instead of going out there and trying to brand products and build products from scratch, we go to the big names out there and say, hey, we see you have a product selling really well. We want to bring your brand name products in. And because we represent a significant amount of sales force, they are willing to let us do that. That's the first part. Okay, that's awesome. The second reason why this is able to do so well is we have the ability to not only negotiate good rates, but also make sure that those are fulfilled. We're able to bring those in, and we're able to put them on Amazon. We have a very good team that has done this for a long period of time and have done that very profitably. That makes it very strong. But also, it removes a lot of the risk from our member of what if the product doesn't sell. Because what happens with the products is once we have put them in the co-op, once the co-op has been filled and the product is brought in, we have tens of thousands of people selling on eBay at the same time. And they are selling these products at a significant profit margin too. So they are actually told, hey guys, here are the products you want to list on eBay because these are the products that are selling well. We have already researched them. Go sell them on eBay, and they're sourced from our Amazon listings instead. So we have now completed that whole chain that we had set out to complete way back. We own the marketplace, and when we don't own the marketplace, we facilitate the marketplace in case of Amazon or eBay. We own the product that's coming from the manufacturer. We own the reselling process along the way. We are the resellers of the product. And what's better is all the traffic that is being sent to the marketplace is also coming internally from our system. It's coming from our eBay sellers, it's coming from our Bonanza sellers, it's coming from our Shopify sellers. Basically, this entire supply chain now exists within our ecosystem. Does anybody think that that's kind of a game changer in not just the way the DST behaves, but also in the way that any company out there behaves right now? This is a pretty unique concept. There are very few companies doing this right now. And nobody who is doing this right now with the numbers that we're doing at the scale that we're doing it, and with the ease of use that we're doing it with. Awesome. Okay, so what does this all have to do with you though? At the end of the day, what do you get and how do you take advantage of this whole process and how do you make it stronger? How do you participate in it? Here's how. One of the things that we recognized about DST as a pretty exciting thing out there, but at the same time we recognized there was one point of failure, which was how do we reward somebody for referring a user who generates a tremendous income from this? Right? The affiliate program, the way it is right now, really does not properly reward members when they refer a user who actually participates in this and does really well with it. Right? Now, because we are doing all of this within our ecosystem, we have the ability to reward it. We actually have a chance to reward you. So who here on this call right now has referred at least one member in DST? Who here has referred at least one member? Awesome. Look at that. Beautiful. So all of you who referred a member, if your member sold this $200 computer chair, you would actually now earn some business volume for this. You would actually earn some points for this. Points that would directly then convert into your income in the new compensation plan that Infinii has. Okay? So it just completely changes the equation of how things are done. You're no longer just thinking about how do I get as many people in as possible. You're thinking about how do I bring in the people who are going to work this, who are going to work hard at this, and they're going to generate tremendous income. Let me give you guys a very interesting statistic. Of our Amazon sellers, about 38% of them generate between 10,000 and 100,000 in sales every year. Okay? That's a very strong number. That's a very, very strong number. I don't think there's a company out there. John, do you know of a network marketing company that would say, we have our subset of users generate that income per annum, generate that much sales per annum without recruitment? You would never find one. Okay, this is just Amazon seller.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, these members, when they are doing this, would now contribute, because they're part of this entire ecosystem, would contribute to your BB. If you refer a member like that who was generating sales like that, you would now actually get some BB from it. By the way, we have another 22% that are generating between 100K and 200K per month, per year in sales, not month, per month, per year in sales. Obviously, we also have members who are doing more than that per month in sales. But it's a very, very strong number. And now you actually get to be rewarded on that entire process. Okay? So that's what we're going to go over with Infinii a little bit, and how this new compensation structure works. And because we now have a true ecosystem, instead of just a pipe dream of saying, hey guys, go out there and recruit and someday you'll make money, which I don't know how John managed to do it and make money with it, but for some reason he was able to. What we have now is the idea, if you go out and build a team, and you actually do what you've been doing the whole time, if you're making sales on Amazon, if you're making sales on eBay, if you're sourcing products, if you're buying products, you're doing all of these things that you do together already anyway. If you just keep doing that, you actually have a chance, a shot at real retirement, at real ability to say, oh, I can actually step away from my business for a while and still keep earning from it. So does anybody like the prospect of 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or a year from now, being able to really take the, pedal off the gas and say, all right, it's time, I can actually relax a little bit. I can take some time off with my family, or if you're in a situation like I am sometimes, oh, I need to go take care of something with my family, I must leave, then you guys will actually be able to do so. Beautiful. Now remember one more thing. Remember the whole thing I said about Infinii Digital and what's happening with the digital side of things? That is counted in here as well. If you create products and you launch products and people are buying your products, or we generate sales for you, whatever way it goes, again, all of that generates BB in the system as well. So anybody here who wants to create and sell digital products, anybody here who wants to buy and sell physical products at a profit, anybody here who has a referral source, who has product manufacturers that they want to refer into the system, all of you now contribute to the BB.